Welcome back to a new video. So this workout I actually did in, I guess, two separate ones. They were both in the evening, so I believe I started doing these powers and stuff around like 4:30, and then I came back out at like 7:30. And the big reason for that is I was planning on doing a longer workout. I wanted to do some power snatches and some power cleans, but I also wanted to do some snatch balance and behind the neck jerk stuff as well. And I knew it would take me a while, so I took a break because I wanted to let my roommate train, and I also was extremely hungry after I did this first half of the workout. As you saw there, I worked up to a miss at 100. I was able to come back and make it on a full attempt. I was only able to power 90. I was doing these without straps today to kind of just push myself, but wasn't really feeling too explosive with snatches and power snatches specifically, I should say. Full snatch felt alright though. The first one was I was trying to power it, so I just left it out a little bit out in front if I could talk, which is, I guess, difficult. Then moved on after those to power clean plus jerk, which I just did 1+1 until I got to my top set that you'll see here, where I did a pretty great set. I was pleasantly surprised. So power cleans usually feel easy, basically no matter what, up until right around like this 130, like 125. I can basically do a power clean every day, but anything above that looks like that, where it's just a little bit more difficult. Power clean is a little bit out in front, so I had to fight to get it into that front rack position, but I actually did 3 jerks here. And I actually kind of short stepped that one. But I did this one, and I was just like, well, let's see if I can do a double. And then once I did one, then I was like, or once I did 2, I was like, well, I could probably do 3. And I think I've done three jerks of this weight before. I think I've even done a jerk triple with 140 from the blocks, which is significantly easier. I thought for a second of doing a 4th one, but that would have just been way too difficult. With the snatch balances today, I was trying to do doubles as heavy as I could. Basically did them past or through 102 kilos, and then had some real problems with 120. I was really hoping to potentially push to double it today, but as you'll see, I missed it several times before I was able to get it, and I kind of just kept banging my head against it till it worked out. And thankfully I was able to get it because it gave me the motivation for the rest of the workout. I would have probably attempted it another time if I would have missed it on the last attempt, but you know, it is what it is. I believe this is my last double, and I was also trying to do them quick, not spending a ton of time in between the reps. Just trying to gather myself, as you see there, just kind of boom boom. I think it's just good in general to do these doubles just to get more volume in that overhead position. And you see here, just wobbling forward. And I honestly think like if I went like 115, I probably would have been able to do a double on the first one, but I just really wanted 120. And I was thinking at worst, like I'll just do 1 and hopefully I'll try 2, and then that's where I'll fail. And then I'm getting slapped in the face with all of these 120s. I believe this is the one I made. I think I missed it 3 times before I made it, yeah. And it's never on the stand up. I've only probably missed like 1 or 2 times ever standing up in a snatch balance. It's always just that crashing on the way down. But I'm also trying to do it where I do the eccentric faster, and I think that is causing some misses, but it's a good miss in the sense that it's forcing me to have the bar behind me and really kind of be strong in that eccentric position as the bar's coming down. Typically I would just like kind of stabilize it and then squat it, which is significantly easier when you're doing overhead. Essentially made it an overhead squat, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing, but I just don't want that. I just want to build in that eccentric portion. Then moved on after I managed to get 120 to doing some doubles in the behind the neck jerk, which are actually, this is 145. This is probably the best I've ever done in this movement for a double. But at the same time, like if I put them on the blocks, I could probably do like 3 or 4 reps just because of the blocks. Re-racking it is really, really hard, whether it's in the front or the back. So I was quite excited to be able to get that 145. Didn't really feel like trying to do anything more than that. 145 was already kind of like a stretch goal for the day. Then did a couple front squats here, doubled 60, doubled at 120, and then a double here at 140. You see the speed is not terrible, but One thing I was kind of noticing, you'll see either the next workout or probably, I think it's 2 workouts from now when I'm at the gym, that I have a little bit of a hip shift, and that is, I think, correlated to the hip pain. When the pain starts to increase, it means my hip is turning in to kind of push off of that pain. So I kind of have to just work through that, or at least be aware that my weight's going to shift to my left side and fight against that. It shouldn't be too difficult a thing. It's just kind of, I think that's really the last step of the recovery, is getting my pathway to be straight up and down in whatever squatting movement I happen to be doing, and to pay attention that if it starts to hurt bad or it starts to hurt, then it's probably means that I'm going to be like hip shifting over to the side. So to kind of pay attention to that and use that as kind of a limiter on lifts. If it's starting to feel like, ooh, that was a little bit more painful than the last one, it probably means I'm looking like Naeem with the hip shift minus about, I don't know, 70 kilos on the bar. But anywho, that's it for this one. So for some pretty good lifts, some pretty bad lifts, but that's really normal training. Anywho, that's it for this one. Talk to you on the next video. Peace.